As a producer, making good melodies is one of the most effective ways to land placements with artists, but for many it's their biggest struggle. Most of my major placements with artists such as Gigs, K-Trap and Noisy came from my melodies, and in this video I'm going to be breaking down the exact system and techniques I use to make industry quality samples. I'll cover chords, counter melodies, mixing and an easy way to understand music theory, so let's get straight into it. Okay, so whenever I'm making melodies, the first thing I usually think about is what style I'm actually trying to create. You don't have to know exactly what melody you want, but it just gives you a bit of direction. For example, if I'm trying to make something dark and hard for trap, I already know that I don't need to change the chords and the progression too much. I might just use a 1 or 2 chord progression. For example, in this one, you can see the bass notes aren't changing too much, and in the chords, the notes are pretty close together, so that's going to give you a dark and tense sound. Compared to something like this, which is a bit more melodic because there's more chords involved in the progression. Then for jazz and soul, you'll want to use bigger chords like 7th and 9ths and start going outside of the standard Western scale, which I'll explain soon. Same with instruments too. If you know what style you're going for, you can listen to the type of music you like and you want to make, and then that will tell you what instruments you want to be using. And a big part of the melody making process for me is having a MIDI keyboard. And I'm not saying you can't make a beat without one, but I just love having something in front of me that's good for getting quick ideas down. And I'm not even that good at playing keys. I think some people avoid them because they think they know how to play piano, but I'm going to show you some techniques to make it really easy. Pretty much the whole time I've been producing, I've had a MIDI keyboard, and even though I've got synths and real instruments in here, if I could strip everything back to just 3 things, I'd have a laptop, some headphones and a MIDI keyboard. And the one I've got in front of me today is actually the brand new FLkey 2 by Novation, and this video is sponsored by them, so a huge shout out to Novation, but this is something that I just genuinely use as part of my process. I've had so many different keyboards in the past, but there's just none that connects to FL this easily. I'm using a 61 key version here, but they also have a mini version, one with 37 keys and one with 49. The 49 and 61 key version have these semi-weighted keys now that feel amazing to play on, but they all have this new OLED screen, these improved touch sensitive pads, endless rotary encoders, and tons of other features like art mode, scale mode, built-in chords, chord detection for when you're playing chords. But yeah, let's cook up a beat with it and you'll see how I naturally use it. So even if you can't play keys, what I do is go to scale, change the scale here, we'll go C minor. And for the notes out of that scale, we can snap them. So now when you're using it, you don't even have to worry about going out of key. Every note's going to sound right. And also, if I just turn that off, whenever I'm playing chords on here, it's going to automatically detect it and show it on the screen, which is so sick for learning because when you're practicing keys, sometimes you'll just press random notes and you don't really know what the chord is. And this is going to tell you now. For example, that's saying C minor, G minor. And that's going to really help you because once you know the chord name, you'll know the root of that chord, which is the letter at the beginning, and then you know what bass note you should be using. But yeah, I want to go for something jazzy this time to show you some more advanced chords. So with jazz, like I said, you want to use 7th and 9th chords. We'll work in C minor because that's the scale I'm most comfortable with. That's the other thing. If you want to learn keys, I'd say just stick to one scale first and master that scale. Just because it's really easy to change the key after you've made the melody. But if you're trying to learn every single scale at once, it's a lot to take on. So standard chord, which you might be using, could be something like this. So C, D sharp and G. To make it a 7th chord, you'd just skip a note in the scale. To make it a 9th, you'd skip another one. But it's good to record it because it's touch sensitive, so you'll get that natural feeling. We're going to bring a pattern in the playlist, press the record button, and if we turn on this loop mode, it's going to loop the recording, so then we only need to record 1 chord at a time. And if we leave it, it's going to loop back around, so we can get our hand in the next position. Same again with the last one. And let's say you find a chord that you really like and you want to save it for another beat. You could press shift, use a chord, you can press the pad, play the chord, and it's going to save it there. Or you could try the built-in chords. If you go to chord map, you can use the pads and then twist these encoders to change the styles. If you bring this first one up, you can even get some nice jazz chords. Just to give you some inspiration. This one actually rolls them so you get more of a strum effect. I'm going to record them in again though and try to get some more movement. If you're thinking about getting a MIDI keyboard and you're an FL Studio user, I'd highly recommend getting this one. So I'll leave a link in the description. Even if you don't use FL, these keys and pads feel amazing, so you should still check it out. But now we could take this a step further. So we could take the bass notes, copy those down an octave. And instead of playing this chord at the start, let's try bringing it over here. Now from the root note, if we go 7 up, could bring this one out. Let's get rid of those. Try adding another note here. We'll bring these notes out so we get more of a strum effect. Same with these. It's keeping it natural. Just want to extend these. So because we recorded it, we're getting that nice natural sound. Love the way that loops back around. Then maybe right at the end, we just do something a little bit different. So you might be wondering why I've used that note B when it's not technically in the C minor scale. That's what actually gives it that jazzy feeling, and it works because it's the note directly under the root note C. And also we're using the chord which is the 5th, meaning it's the 5th note in the scale. We've got C which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So using that B in the G chord sounds really good going back to the root note C. Let's change that piano though. I'm going to use the soft one with just a bit of reverb. We'll get some delay on there too. Now that we've got our main progression, we can start thinking about a counter melody. You just don't need a full melody for every single sound that you add, because then you're just going to take up too much space. But we're making jazz, so I'm hearing a sax. This one's going to work. Remember, on our keyboard, we could activate scale mode, so we'll lock to C minor. If we press shift in channel mixer, we can actually change the volume directly from these, which is cool. Want to bring that sax down a bit. There we go. Next up, I'm going to add a classic jazz sound, which is just this brush loop. But I already know I'm going to flip this into some hood trap or drill beat. Yeah, see what I'm saying? We just got a bit of rhythm now. Let's go to Analog Lab, and if we use the Mellotron, we're going to get some nice vintage sounds. What if we try art mode? And if we adjust these, we can change things like the swing, maybe some triplets, and then just lock the tempo in. There might be something in there. Copy that again. You can see how we've kind of got that call and response feeling where the sax plays and then the glock comes in. Next up, I'm hearing some strings. And with strings, we could either play the full chord and just layer it, or maybe use the top notes in the chords, or think of something else. Let's try the top notes. Yeah, I'm feeling that. Okay, I've just found this sax phrase as well, because sometimes you just can't beat someone actually recording the instrument, but I don't want the whole thing. I'm thinking we could have mind play and then this one. Same again here. Get some reverb on that. The glock's getting a bit lost now, but I could just use that in a different part. Definitely need a bass in there. I think a one shot will work as well. Just following the root notes of the chords. And then a passing note here. And with passing notes, it usually sounds right if you use a note that's already in the chord. I might even add a slide note just to get a bit of a realistic feel to it. Then right at the end for some variation, I'm just using that B note again because it resolves nicely to C. This melody sounded crazy. But why does jazz always make you feel like someone's tiptoeing around you, man? I feel like someone's looking for clues in here. I'm going to split this because I don't want that sax playing all the way through. I want that to drop out and then we could introduce some vocals. So we'll copy this over. Then in this part, We'll bring the Glock in, take the strings out as well, and then just find a nice vocal phrase that works. Ooh, maybe if we stretch that. Yeah, that sounds crazy. Let's just filter it a bit though. I think I found a better one. Yeah, this might work. And then I've just got this leading into it. Okay, I think I've got enough sounds. I'm going to take everything and send them to another insert to create a bus. I just want to make it sound a little bit more like a sample, so we're going to do some processing. This feels more like a sample now. Last thing I'm going to do is in this section, which would be the hook, I'm going to take these chords, copy them over here, pitch them up an octave, maybe get rid of these two, and then turn these right down and make sure the strums. Copy that over here. Alright, the sample's sounding nice, but now I want to turn it into an actual beat, so we could either flip this or see what it sounds like with drums. Let's just see what drums sound like, because I always flip my melodies. We'll go to Pyro Reverse and the Magma drum kit. Start with an essential snare. Could try a clap too. And if we go to Shift and Channel Rack, we can actually record the drums in, and I can see the name in the file on the screen. Can actually quantize that right from the keyboard too. Let's pull in the spins. Let's change that clap. It's one of my favorites. But I think in some parts I might swap it with this. Or just layer it. Just the last one though. For some high end, let's bring in a counter snare. We could start with the drill pattern. Or we could just use a hi-hat. Let's add some open hats. A reverse one as well. And so that 8-weight feels like it's hitting harder. We can layer the first two with this open hat. And then get the reverse one here. Could get a couple perks in as well. Then if we group these together with Control and G, I always like to switch up the 8-weights in the second half. Then just add a few more notes. If we go to my re-up kit, I think we could use that scratch. Just the go-to one. But we could cut the drums like this. That bounce sounds crazy. You know what? Maybe we could add a log drum. I've been adding them in loads of beats recently. But then the second time around, we'll just change the sound. The last thing I might add is just a fill. So we've got a verse and a hook. Let's just bring the piano back for the intro and that brush and the bass. I think these vocals as well. Just to set the vibe. Save the hats for the second half and also cut some of the perks when the log drums come in. When that scratch comes in, I just want to mute the whole melody, just for this small part here. cut the drums for the start of the verse. And then for the bridge, we can just have it similar to the intro. Alright, let's hear it from the beginning. Definitely got that jazz vibe.
J Cactus.
Yeah, this hood trap bounce sounds sick on it. That sax, man. I could hear someone like Nems on this. So yeah, the verse is a lot more open. Might leave the vocals in the bridge too. I hope you guys are feeling this one. If you want to check out the FLkey 2, the link will be in the description. Or for more videos just like it, then click up here.